This episode of Podfast is sponsored by the Burrito Bumper, the food funnel for sloppy burritos that catches your fallen fillings and carefully crafts a secondary taco for you to enjoy. A burrito is like a podcast episode. Both can be packed with layers of content that unfold with each bite, leaving you feeling satisfied and fulfilled. Enjoy the episode.
Welcome to our video on the top 10 key ideas from the Naval Ravikant episode on the Joe Rogan podcast. In this episode, Naval Ravikant, a renowned internet investor and philosopher, sits down with Joe to discuss some of his most profound insights and lessons on topics such as self-awareness, mindfulness, and the pursuit of purpose and meaning. We will be presenting to you the 10 most significant ideas from this episode so that you can learn from this internet genius and apply his wisdom to your own life. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into these valuable insights from Naval Ravikant. Naval warns us of the common mistake of believing that external circumstances will bring us happiness. In his book, The Almanac of Naval Ravikant, he explains that this is fundamental Buddhist wisdom. He uses the example of buying a new car, where we become obsessed with it and depend on it for our happiness, even though it's just an object that will eventually pass. According to Naval, desires are contracts we make with ourselves to be unhappy until we get what we want. This has a profound impact on our mental health, as people who struggle with depression often have too many thoughts and desires, leading to a lack of focus and self-awareness. To combat this, Naval advises letting go of unnecessary desires and focusing on a few good ones that can lead to positive outcomes. This allows us to have a still and sharp mind, enabling us to concentrate on important things and achieve greatness. He encourages us to take the time to write down our desires and prioritize which ones are truly important. In short, every time we find ourselves restless and wishing for something, we must remember that this is a contract to be unhappy until we get it. Instead, we should let go of unnecessary desires and focus on a few good ones that will bring us true happiness and success. As Naval says, the mind is like a garden. It must be tended and nurtured in order to grow. Number 2, happiness is a choice. Happiness is not something that we can easily find or buy. Instead, it is a choice that we must make and work on every day, just like we do with our physical health. He explains that our minds are malleable and we can train them to be happy, just like we do with our bodies. In order to be truly happy, we must be present in the moment and let go of regrets from the past and anxieties about the future. This allows us to connect with the world around us and appreciate the beauty in the present moment. He also challenges the idea that happiness and purpose are interconnected. He argues that external purposes, such as societal expectations or burdens, do not necessarily lead to happiness. Instead, true happiness comes from finding inner peace and following our own inner purpose. He also speaks about the prevalence of low-level anxiety in our lives and the need to quiet the constant chatter of our minds in order to find moments of peace and enlightenment. He encourages us to be honest with ourselves and ask if we are truly making the best decisions for our happiness. In short, happiness is a choice that requires training, presence, and a focus on inner peace and purpose. By letting go of regrets and anxieties, we can connect with the world around us and find true happiness. Number 3, you need equity to get rich. The key to generating real wealth is to own a share or significant shares in a business. This is because if you are a professional, such as a surgeon or lawyer, your income is tied to your time. You cannot generate passive income. Wealthy professionals, such as doctors and lawyers, often create businesses around their profession in order to generate recurring income. This allows them to have peace of mind and financial security, even when they are not working. If you do not have a piece of a business, retiring will mean the end of your income. On the other hand, if you own a successful business, it can continue to generate income for you even when you are not actively involved in it. Therefore, if you want to create long-term wealth and financial security, it is important to invest in a business and become a part owner. This will allow you to benefit from passive income and have peace of mind. Number 4. Wealth is often a precursor to peace and happiness. If you are unhappy or unsure about life, the solution is to get rich. According to scientific studies, having money allows us time to focus on our happiness and purpose. He advises against paying someone to teach you how to get rich, as they are likely just trying to take your money. He encourages us to focus on building wealth and financial security so that we can have peace of mind and the freedom to pursue our happiness and purpose. He likens money to a tool that allows us to live a fulfilling life, just like a monk seeks to gather everything they need to live a spiritual life. In short, having wealth and financial security is an important step towards finding happiness and purpose. By focusing on building wealth, we can free ourselves from the distractions and anxieties of daily life and focus on what truly matters to us. Number 5. We are far away from general AI. The pursuit of true artificial intelligence, which can think and learn like a human, is unlikely to be achieved anytime soon. The human brain is a complex and poorly understood system, and we are far from being able to replicate it in a machine. Even if we were able to build a machine that could recognize patterns or perform tasks with a high degree of accuracy, it would not necessarily be capable of creative thinking or independent thought. Additionally, intelligence is highly contextual and depends on a variety of factors, such as upbringing and experiences. In short, we are a long way from creating artificial intelligence that could potentially pose a threat to humanity. Instead, we are solving complex problems using large amounts of data, which may not be as flashy or exciting to talk about. Number 6. The future work environment. The gig economy and advancements in technology are making it easier for people to work independently and on their own terms. This shift is leading to a focus on quality work and the ability to choose which projects to take on, rather than being tied to a traditional job with a hierarchical structure. The information age is breaking down traditional models of work and allowing people to work remotely and within their own social circles. We may see a future where people are able to work on their own terms and take vacations whenever they choose, thanks to the flexibility and independence that technology is providing. Number 7. Automation and mitigating potential job losses. The idea that there is a finite number of jobs and that automation will lead to widespread unemployment is a non-issue. In the past, new technologies have disrupted traditional forms of work, but people have always adapted and found new ways to make a living. It is impossible to predict how the job market will evolve and transform, but what is important is our ability to adapt and retrain ourselves for the future. Currently, employment levels are at historical highs, indicating that the automation apocalypse is not happening. The real challenge is in education and preparing ourselves for the future rather than worrying about the availability of jobs. Number 8. Capitalism should provide equal opportunity, not equal outcome. The concept of the free market has been present since ancient times and is the foundation of many of our systems, including mathematics. While capitalism has its flaws, it offers equal opportunities for success rather than equal guaranteed income for all, which could lead to conflict. It is important to strive for a capitalism with a free market approach and to recognize that different decisions will lead to different outcomes, both financially and in life in general. It is the unethical practices of some individuals rather than the system itself that contribute to the problems within capitalism. Number 9. Everybody can be rich. It is possible for everyone to be rich because wealth is not a zero-sum game, but rather a positive-sum game. When people create new products and sell them, the value does not magically cancel out, but rather adds up and creates a compound value. It is important to strive for systems that are ethically and structurally positive and create positive-sum games, rather than trying to burn down the current system. Countries like Venezuela that have attempted to do so have experienced negative consequences. Therefore, it is essential to maintain and improve the current system so that we can continue to create wealth. Number 10. The future of media and news companies. The Internet has created a queue of possibilities for businesses and individuals, with the largest and most dominant organizations at the fat end and millions of smaller, individual contributors at the thin end. In the realm of media, social networks and communication companies have significant control over the distribution of information and can manipulate it to serve their own interests. To combat this, it is necessary to create decentralized communication channels where everyone can contribute without polarization. But this will take time to build and establish. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this summary, please like and subscribe. Have a great day.